What's happening, everybody? Of course, it's your host, Brink Young, coming straight out of them South Memphis slums, and you are listening to Brink Radio right here on 96.3 FM. I'm talking about bumping 96.3 because you know Brink put the B in bumping. Look, we got a brand new special guest on Brink Radio tonight, but hey, he is no stranger to the Brink platform, and of course, he ain't no stranger to these Memphis city streets. We got my guy straight out of Binghamton with it. We talking about Lil Noid. How you doing, family?
Man, what it do, man? You know, just out here mixing it up a little bit.
Hey,
networking, pushing the new album, and just, you know, pushing the podcast, just working. That's really it.
Making it happen, I promise, man. First and foremost, I got to say thank you for being a guest on Brink Radio. It means a lot to have you kick me, man.
It's an honor and a pleasure, bro. It's an honor and a pleasure.
Yes, sir, man. Like, one thing about you, man, you one of the first to really put Binghamton on the map, be repping the hemp, man. So let's talk about that.
Man, actually, I met Juicy J through Binghamton.
Okay.
So I always have paid my homage to my hood. Then my hood taught me how to fight. They taught me how to shoot. So it's certain shit that I end up needing for survival skills. I really get credit to a lot of guys in my hood that took time out and made sure I had them hand skills and I knew how to think.
No doubt, no doubt. So, of course, I recently had another artist from the Hemp on the show.
Right.
And one thing I said in that interview, man, I told him Binghamton is one of them special, like, best-kept secrets about the city of Memphis,
it is.
man.
Truly.
How would you describe it in your own words, man? Because that part of town is diverse. It ain't nothing like no other part of the city.
It's like if you want to go somewhere, you want to get a mix of North Memphis and South Memphis.
Yeah.
Like, you got to go to the South to find the South. You got to go to the North to find the North. But if you want to mix that shit up a little bit, and that's where it gets a little twisted. Because, like, I've never in my whole complete life known one dude to come over there. I don't give a fuck if he had 10 keys. If he came over there, he died. So, you know, you kind of don't want to go over there trying to do certain things. But other than that, man, it's like, back in the day, it was like a tight-knit community, I guess you can say.
Yeah.
Most people over there now, they from somewhere else. They just claim it because it had such a strong impact. But yeah, man, we call that motherfucker Binghamton University, Princeton, Harvard, and Yale. All the streets over there. So when you graduate, you ready.
I promise, man. Shout out to everybody in there. Hemp, low end, and
BBB.
high end, man. You know what's happening with that. So let's go ahead and talk about my girl, LaChat, man. You actually discovered LaChat.
Yeah, we was going to school, man. We were going to Eastside Summer School together. I think she was on, shout out to Chat, too. She was on 85 South talking about that. Matter of fact, every time I did a show with Chat, she'll interrupt her show and tell people who I am. This dude that calls Juicy, so, you know, it kind of gave me a little motion. But yeah, I met her at school. Like she said, we had like a little rap off, and she just impressed the shit out of me, you know what I'm saying? So I picked up the phone and I called Juicy. And that was kind of like the rest of it. She took care of the rest of it on her own, you know what I'm saying?
How did you link up with Juicy, though? Like, how did that happen?
I told you, man, it's some weird shit, right? So my homeboys animals, like they fucking goons, they animals. Like, I love them to death, like, you know what I'm saying? So we was like 50 or 60 deep. I was beating on the wall right there. Matter of fact, my homeboy and them was kicking some nigga ass in the bushes behind me. It's real talk. They just was they did now, but this was the wildest shit ever. So my cousin and Big A was demanding from Juicy, nigga, we not finna pay you top dollar and there's 50 niggas out here, nigga, give us a deal, nigga. So Juicy wasn't kind of trying to budge on that shit.
Yeah.
So my cousin said, fuck that shit, man. Listen to my cousin rap. I kind of don't know why. You know what I'm saying? It didn't have nothing to do with getting in the club, you know what I'm saying? But yeah, man, I rapped this song called Break Yourself.
Okay.
And when I rapped that joint, I guess the people walking by, they heard me beating on the glass rap. It's just like being on the back of the school bus. You know how you hit the back of the glass, the whole bus be rocking with you.
Right,
you know what I'm saying? So it was one of them things. Soon as he heard it, he snatched me in. He said, man, do that again. So I guess he wanted to hear it without all the commotion and shit.
Yeah.
So, dog, I think like a day or two later, I was in that goddamn rigger. I think it was the Burgundy with the gold things on it. You know what I'm saying? We was dropping it. We was at Big Tree's house in his garage. So Riding in the Chevy was the song that ended up blowing up.
Yeah.
But Break Yourself was the end up in the song that got me in with him. You know, sometimes when you're an artist, you think it's gonna be this song, and it was completely not like that. You know what I'm saying?
All right, so it's been history ever since, man. Of course, you know, so many people have referenced you. You know what I'm saying? Like, I remember Paul mentioned you. Was that on a Vlad interview?
Yeah, Vlad TV. Yeah,
Vlad TV interview, you know.
And Crunchy Black on Off the Porch.
That's what I was finna get to next, you know. I didn't realize that it was kind of like
separated.
Yeah, separated.
Yeah,
you know,
a lot of people don't know that. They only seen the camaraderie after the 666, they sing the 316. You see
Right.
what I'm saying? But it wasn't really like that. To be honest with you, bro, that beef with Fly, it actually started with me.
Wait a minute. How did that-
Yeah. Cause see, Fly was fucking Paul artist.
Okay.
Paul kind of had a fucking attitude with me behind that, cause like I've been around Paul since then, and his attitude was totally different from the first time I met him.
Yeah.
But that was kind of Paul artist. Fly didn't feel like he was Paul artist. You gotta think, Fly, his dad was in the music business. He knew the music business. So any kind of bullshit fly across his radar, they nailing it. You know what I'm saying? That's
Right.
one thing that he didn't appreciate, somebody trying to box him in. And that's kind of where they came from. They're riding in the Chevy. That's the first crossover with an artist.
Yeah.
From Paul's selection to Juice's selection ever in history. Nobody else ever crossed that line but Fly. And when he crossed that line, you can tell that it stayed like that.
Yeah.
You know
So
what I'm saying?
let me ask you this: like, why was it like you got Juicy side of artists and then you got Paul side of? How come it wasn't like no gigantic like?
Well, see, you gotta think
camp?
about it. Paul and Juicy were different producers.
Okay.
And my honest opinion, Juicy was a fucking genius.
Yeah.
He knew Paul had the vision. And some people see a person with a vision and they can't operate or they hate or they do something to sabotage it. Juicy stayed in his lane. I don't think Juicy ever really wanted to be a part of 360 the way he was because of his character, how he grew up. And he's a businessman. And a lot of what was going on didn't have nothing to do with no goddamn business. So you had the Juicy J tapes, you know what I'm saying? Then you had the DJ Paul tapes. And at that time, Paul's shit was smack a little harder. You know what I'm saying? I'm be real with you. The summer 16 and
Yeah.
Paul had, you gotta think about it, nigga. He had Fly, Gangsta Boo, Lord and Miss Cooster nigga, Gangsta Black. It was like he had all the artists from the group that stamped it. You see what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Juicy would come with Pat, Al Capone, Nigga Nine. So he would kind of pick certain people as they went, but Paul had a roster. It's different when you got a team compared to, you know, you just picking players on a team when they show up. It was
Right.
kind of like that with Juicy.
Cause see, it kind of remind me of, you know, I don't know if y'all seen this movie that Civil War, you know, that Captain America Civil
Yeah,
War,
yeah,
where
yeah,
you
yeah.
got this side of superheroes versus this side of superheroes,
And it was
I'm
like that.
man, yeah,
You know what I'm saying? But you know what? I think it was a good thing though, because it brought so much texture to what we were doing.
correct,
So much versatility, you know what I'm saying? But like I said, I really, I'm looking at this picture where you got up here with MJG and them right now.
Yeah.
Fly. But yeah, my dude has always been that type of guy where you come boxing men like that, you know what I'm saying? But I really don't know, like, how the beef got to be so heated, but I
Yeah.
know it's where it started.
no doubt. So let's talk about like, what would you say? How would you describe your relationship with Player Fly now?
Oh man, I gotta give Fly one thing. Every time I called him, if I called him for a video shoot, it didn't never go the way I wanted to go, but it went. I
Yeah.
guess that's what you could say. And that's more than I could say for anybody. You know, you got major artists that Player Fly literally got major songs with Rocco, a lot of folks, but they can't release that without his clearance on it. So he got a lot of major shit going on the music side with a lot of major artists, bro. Like,
Yeah.
so for him to even show up in a video or come out with me, it's always, if I'm at a show with him, he always put me on stage. He did it 2 or 3 times. One time I knocked his microphone out the Johnny. Kind of messed the show up for a minute, you know what I'm saying? But
Yeah.
he always made sure he keep me with him, so I can't speak bad about him at all.
No doubt.
Then me and his dad, it was tight.
Oh yeah.
I got to fighting over his house one time, one of my homeboy, and dad fussed at me for not coming over there. You know what I'm saying? So like I was cool with Chill Bill too, man.
R.I.P. Chill Bill.
And
Hey,
R.I.P.
man.
Chill Bill.
You linked up with Juicy J. You know, you guys started out, like you say, kind of was music, kind of was, you know, other things. I saw some stuff, and I'm trying to formulate the best way to talk about it.
Right.
When I was at your spot, you know, we did the interview on your podcast. You put emphasis, or you showed me the basically what was on the wall. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
Let's talk about that. I'm trying to figure out how do we talk about that. You know,
You
because-
see what it was. I'm glad you brought that up, and it's for artists that don't understand the business side of it. I didn't understand that I could re-register music and just register my part of the songs.
Right.
So for years I went without getting any credit for that because I didn't know I could register, you know, my just my parts of the song and have that title on it. If I didn't, it's kind of like insurance on what you do. So you always, if somebody want to buy your catalog, you got a good track record and proof, from various things that says, hey, I stamped this, I got a certificate to roll with it. Whatever you need to do, we can do it. You see what I'm saying? So that was kind of like me just wanting to. I had called around once I got to doing research on it because I had to really do like some lawyer work.
Yeah.
And I found out certain songs that streamed so crazy. And I went back and did the numbers on the streaming. And I was like, wait, this ain't, nobody told me. So then he sampled the song I did. Right, he sampled me twice.
Yeah.
On that on the second Chronicles of the Juice Man. But guess what? I missed a lawsuit on it because it was outside of statute of limitations.
Damn.
You see what I'm saying? So like I had to go back and really look at stuff like. So sometimes I don't know how to hold a grudge against him because if I wasn't on my business, he set it up for me to get it. He set it up in a way where that if I had called them and had a gripe with the right lawyer, they just would have paid me.
Yeah.
It wouldn't even been a legal thing. So I don't even know how to really assess it and be mad at nobody other than self. You see what I'm saying? So that's how it ended up on the wall. Once I got to realizing, hey, man, you don't own no part of you, but it's all over the world. It's scattered out everywhere. Everybody got a piece of you but you.
Yeah.
And that concept right there drove me crazy till I was able to put that certificate on the wall.
And you know what's interesting about that, man? Like, you made the statement just now, a piece of you is all over the world.
Yeah.
One thing that's crazy that I've been noticing over the last few years, a lot of these major artists, man, they reaching back and sampling a lot of the old school Memphis sound. And it seemed like, and I'm gonna say this, I'm thankful for it because I love to see the legends get a bag, in this era, the 2024s and beyond.
Right.
Most recently, I believe that was Kanye West. He sampled some Koopster, on that,
the Devil Playground, I think.
Yeah.
That was tight, though, you know what I'm saying? But he do it a lot. Yeah. He did it on that, but I fuck with Drake a lot, dog, for the simple fact I've never known nobody to consistently come back and fuck with the city. Now, the first couple times I was like, well, maybe, they kind of stealing a little bit, you know what I'm saying? Yeah. But when he came back so many times, I was like, dog, Juice and Paul didn't come back and do this, you know what I'm saying? Yeah. Shout out to Juice and Paul. I'm not saying it like that. I'm just saying from a standpoint of like, being in that position and being able to make that happen continually. Shout out to Tay Key. Tay Key actually from my neighborhood, you know what I'm saying? When Tay Key uncle or daddy was looking for a house in Atlanta, he was on the phone with my cousin. You see what I'm saying? So I'm kind of tied to it more than just through music. That's kind of why I don't talk about it so much because it's a different feel and different texture on the other side.
So saying all of that, we setting it up. We got a classic album. Came out, I believe it was like 95. We talking about that Paranoid Funk.
Oh, man, yeah. I did that. I'm going to tell you what happened. Once they put me on the Chronicles of the Juice Man, the first one, I want everybody to just put their mind right here. So Skinny had already told me, don't be on a lot of albums and then your album don't come, or when your album come, it don't meet the criteria of all the feature work.
Right.
So I got... When the Chronicles of the Juice Man came out, on the front of the tape, you know what it said, right?
What it say?
Featuring a new member, 666 Mafia, Lil Noid.
Okay.
So Skinny was like, this is almost your album. And I was like, what do you mean? If you think about it, you're being sold already on the second album. Everything up top is little. Only thing big is you. Everything else is little words and fine print. But the big shit on this tape is your name.
Yeah.
And I was like, because I was green. I didn't know, you know what I'm saying? When I figured that out, I started recording with this, I always forget this dude's name, man. I started recording this producer at the time, right? He wasn't all that good, but he was good enough for an artist to be able to just rap and just... Matter of fact, Juicy knew about him. He told me to keep messing with him and practicing. But when he was telling me to keep messing with him and practicing, like I told you, bro, I would go home and I'm going home to like... Bro, these dudes had piles and piles of cocaine, piles and piles of money. Like, so when I come home with a sandwich and tapes, it didn't... You got to understand what I'm saying.
Yeah.
So it didn't mesh at all. So it was kind of hard for me to stick with that. So I found myself just trying to break out of it and trying to do something different. So I made that tape. And when I made that tape, I didn't make that tape with any knowledge of music, any knowledge of mixing, any knowledge of vocals, separating tracks. We made this strictly just. I'm blessed that it's still around. I don't know how we made them, to be real, because we didn't have any knowledge of what we was doing. Everything we did was a step by step process. You see what I'm saying? It ended up being a goddamn classic.
Yeah.
So it was just weird, dog. You know what I'm saying?
And that was the whole tape produced by Blackout or what?
Yeah, that's it. That's his name, Blackout. Yeah, that's what produced by Black. Actually, dog, I'm the one that told Player Fly this was gonna produce your album.
Wow.
And when you talk to him, he'll tell you that no, it ain't lying. He told you this one gonna produce your album. Because see, we had a different bond outside of the group. Once I got cool with him, we was sitting in the lab, what he would call the lab off marble, and just snorting, just freestyle against each other. You know what I'm saying? Like we was bonded like that. That's when Player Fly used to fuck Gangsta Boo before she blossomed. She was ugly then. She was an ugly little duckling then. But she blossomed to a sexy chocolate legend. But at the time, you know what I'm saying? I guess that's kind of why she didn't like me sometimes, because I kind of knew I could kind of tease her about, hey, you know, when you was a little ugly, you know, I kind of fuck with her a little bit. Shout out to Gangsta Boo, man, you know what I'm saying? Because she certainly did transcend this shit that some women think they doing. She really was an artist, dog, you know what I mean? Like, coming and going, you know what I'm saying? It's a tragedy the way that happened to her, but.
So let's go ahead and talk about that Load My Clip, man. That is that's one of them bangers that transcends generations. You know what I'm saying? Let's talk about it.
That Load My Clip was kind of off the back end of shit like 666, lock 'em in the trunk. You know, it was sort of off the back end of that right there. You know what I'm saying? So it just was wrong. I load my clip and shoot you in your fucking face. And then I was on cocaine. You see what I'm saying? So at the time, that was the perfect way to fuck you up. You know what I'm saying? Mentally, that's why I was at that time. You know what I'm saying? Because like I said, we didn't have nothing but, we talking about the 90s. Nothing was around. Like, if you wasn't selling dope to survive, you was working. If you was working your ass off. Man. The wages wasn't like they is now. You know what I'm saying? So it wasn't easy. It wasn't hard. I ain't gonna say it wasn't. I ain't gonna say it was just all bad. But you know what I'm saying, we had some real transitions to go through. I lost a lot of friends in them transitions. A lot of people, you know, passed away. So I had lost one of my friends at 14. So like a lot of that music was just young and angry. Like I got a song called Death Row. I probably would never write another song like that in my fucking life. Yeah. Cause I was looking at Death Row. I'm on 23 and 1 with an 8-year sentence. Every time I look at my motherfucking one, this motherfucking Death Row. I can't even go to the one and look at the song because the Death Row, it just made Death Row, it just illuminate Death Row. You know what I'm saying? So a lot of them songs, man, I love them for the time being and the time they was in. But Load My Clip will give me a ticket to this day.
I promise.
You know what I'm saying? It's just one of those junks you get, man. And I tell you what, I think Load My Clip was like, I think it was more so into the album. You dig what I'm saying? So we had kind of worked out some kinks. So by the time we got to Load My Clip, we was kind of all the way around the board ready for it. You know what I'm saying?
Let's talk about the actual genre, because I don't know who coined the phrase or who came up with it, but they call it
you finna say.
Horrorcore.
I don't know what it
I don't know where it come from.
Dog. But you know what? When I went to prison and came back just to see my music online, I didn't give a fuck what was in front of it. I was cool. Yeah. Because I missed the bus. You dig what I'm saying? Like, when I went to prison, nigga, I hadn't ever had a car. I hadn't ever had a chain or, you know what I'm saying? I had a name for being a little gangster, a little robber, but that motherfucker didn't cash out nowhere. Yeah. Carlos didn't want to hear that. Banks didn't want to hear that shit. You know what I'm saying? So, like I said, dog, that era was a beautiful era, dog, but it was kind of then, you know, crack was around. Yeah. A lot of folks don't understand what crack did to us as, you know, when we was young. So it was kind of hard for me to focus on that music like that when I'm saying, first and foremost, I wouldn't say I was a weirdo, but rappers weren't everywhere you went in the neighborhood. It was just me, nigga, like just me, nigga. Wasn't no other nigga trying to rap. Nigga was trying to be pimp, players, gangsters, and hustlers. The rap thing wasn't what niggas wanted to be. It hadn't proven to be that thing yet. The rapper was still looking at the dope boy, trying to figure out how to get in their bins. You know what I'm saying? He still was struggling with that. You know, it was dope boys. Paul and Juicy bought their cars from dope boys, dog. Every time they upgrade, they bought their cars from Dope Boy because it was a better feel. It was easier to get the word around town that, hey, I'm bossed up around this bitch.
Gotcha.
So, the rap thing wasn't like it is. Niggas didn't want to be rappers like they want to be rappers now. You know what I'm saying? It wasn't a thing.
What do you think caused that shift in
Movies.
Okay.
Movies, and a motherfucker won't think it's easy and take the easy way out and think that they gonna make this and make that because you watched the movie that lasts 2 hours. Them folks gave every motherfucker in that movie gave their life for that 1 hour you saw. And people be forgetting that motherfuckers gave their life. Every character in there gave their life for that 1 hour. You want to go and do it and microwave it. It's not like that. Even when you get there, it's not like that. When you retire, it's not like that because it's only good as you set your business up. If your business ain't set up, if you're not setting up a business deal, if you're not negotiating a contract and you just taking a contract, I heard this white girl say, you will be paying this off to you 80 years old.
Damn.
And this wasn't even she's not even a genre of music that stick dick in you the most. She just was in the genre. She just was in the music business, and period. That's what happened.
Yeah.
If you don't know your shit. That's another reason why I had that piece of paper on the wall. It can also help my kids down the road. Well, my daddy did this. It can kind of be some validation for them and hopefully some residuals for them. You know what I'm saying?
And it's crazy, man. That sounds like the phrase that pays, especially with a lot of artists from the 90s. I can remember TLC being so vocal about, not getting the money that was due to them. I can remember, man, so many. Yeah.
Lil Mo, man, got screwed around. It's a lot of good, talented people that you don't see now. It's because when they take away the passion from it, the person almost be lost about what to do. Because they came in with a passion that they actually love this. But the music business, the business side of anything has no feelings.
All right, so at this point, though, it's a lot more hand to hand. It's a lot
and
more,
I love it.
Direct to consumer with it. So I be seeing all kind of stuff, man. These people, these legends, let me say this, these legends, they be selling the tapes, $75, $50, selling the actual wax, the albums, $100 and stuff like that. They doing meet and greets, they selling out shows because, like I say, one thing about you legends, man, and I say this with pride, y'all music is all over this globe.
And you know why that is, bro? You can't remake moments. Like those moments that we had, it was a certain passion and drive there. You can't remake a passion and a drive. You can film it and get close as you want to it. You know what I'm saying? But the passion that we all had, we didn't have that passion because somebody online liked it. We didn't have that passion for clout.
Yeah.
We didn't have that passion because it was cool. Because we actually weren't cool. We were the weird ones rapping, trying to transcend something that actually hadn't came to the forefront all the way yet.
Right.
You know what I'm saying?
Because, you guys pretty much invented the Memphis sound,
And that's the fun part about when you're creating compared to just making some shit.
Yeah.
When you're creating, you give it a process of life. You breathe into it. And people can get that life out of it. People will kill themselves. Commit suicide to your music because they feel you so much. They have lost that feel now with bounce, shake, and bullshit. You know what I'm saying? Like, and people done got so numbed out that they cool with it, and they kind of scare me a little bit because it's like you could have EPMD, you could have what's on the West Coast, NWA. You could turn around the South and have Scarface. None of those people sound alike. Dog, Cube, don't nobody sound like Big. Big don't sound like Pac. I don't care how many albums they sold a piece, they never wanted to sound like each other as much admiration as they had for one another. Because Kobe picked up Jordan's game for sure, but he had to put that mumbo on that jump to make us respect it.
Had
you
to
know
put
what
that
I'm
sauce
saying?
on it. You're right, yeah.
So some people don't want to go to the gym and come in and put that extra sauce on. They just want to pick up what Jordan did and start right there. Well, just as fast as it comes, just as fast as it go, motherfucker.
Yeah.
So you might well hold tight and then have a passion about it. You know what I'm saying? Passion means if one person liked it, you was excited. That's passion. It's not two people liked it and you discouraged. That ain't passion. You clout chasing. You looking for a motherfucker to like you. You with one motherfucker liked you, you all right. 10 people like me, I'm straight. I never look at my shit and think, well, 10 people liked it. Or I never been liked it because I come from the era where 3 people was cool, 5 people was cool, 10 people, 15 people, 20 people. It was cool to slowly grow like that. Now they shit on you for a slow grow process, but damn, what do you think a business do? Businesses pay, they spend a certain amount of money to make test runs on certain ads to see what work. That's what you have to do. You know what I'm saying? So like 50 Cent said, if you're not happy through the whole process, you're going to miss what the process about. It's like taking a trip somewhere and just looking at the sun. You don't look at shit else, just the sun.
Yeah.
Like this the whole time.
Yeah.
You miss everything. So sometimes people chase this and they just look at the sun. After a while, they just get out the car and leave it alone.
Yeah.
But if you had looked around and enjoyed it a little bit, you see what I'm saying? Because we got 7 billion people on the world. I heard Wallow say that. Wallow had to check me about this shit. It's 7 billion people on the world, and you about the motherfuckers that you fuck with. It's a girl, what's her name? She killing shit. Bitch, I ain't the one. I ain't the 2 or the 3. Her name Flip a T or some shit like that. I went to her page, bro, real talk, and I was kind of embarrassed with myself. She had the same single playing over 30 reels. That's a motherfucker that don't give a fuck about what you talking about. She know she got it. You see what I'm saying? I have to watch people like that that's trying to get to where I been or where I'm going just to remind myself, man, it's not microwave, man. That girl got one baby. And regardless of what they doing and where they at, she might not even have the avenues or the cameras or whatever man you get. But she making that shit happen, you know what I'm saying? I respect it. Shout out to Flipper T. You know what I'm saying?
Hey, speaking of making it happen, we got the brand new single, man. Can we play it on the show, man?
Man, you need to play. I feel elevated.
Hey, go ahead, introduce it to the people, man.
Yeah, man, this is my new single, Elevated, man. You know, so I want y'all to check it out. Matter of fact, I want you to, when you get a chance, don't just check it out. Turn it up loud, pull over, because I don't want you to get no ticket in your car, but I do want you to, you know, just get wild and buck. I'm from the 6, so you know I want you to fuck something up when you listen to it. What the fuck is you saying? Yeah, man, here it go, Elevated.
And of course, we back. We're talking about Brink Radio right here on 96.3 FM. I'm your host, Brink Young, coming straight out of them South Memphis slums, Pinky and the Thorn. Hey, you guys just heard my guy. We're talking about Lil Noid. We're talking about elevation, elevated. Hey, this is what we doing all 2024 and beyond. Man, we got to talk more, man.
Right.
Of course, we already agreed that you guys pretty much invented this sound.
Exactly.
You know what I'm saying? Not just the Memphis sound, but the crunk sound, the buck sound, all of the above. Right. Another element to you guys' sound was rapping or talking about drug usage. I want to talk about how a lot of the newer artists are doing that now. And do you know, what's your thoughts on that? What's your take on that?
Well, it's kind of hard for me to speak on it, bro. That's why you have to watch what you do when you're younger. Because I was cocaine crazy. I was telling everybody to put cocaine up their nose every chance I gave you. When putting cocaine, I'm trying to convince you to sell it. So when the kids push drugs, I kind of don't know what stand to take on it for the simple fact that was part of my chemistry. Yeah. So for me to kind of be hypocritical in a sense, but I will say this, and I'm going to admit this on your show first. I don't know what the people going to like me behind this. Nigga, I snorted cocaine about 4 times. Literally. My daddy did heroin, cocaine, in a fucking attic. He always tell me, one of these days they going to find out your motherfucking ass didn't do no goddamn. Nigga, you done drugs and went to jail for 6 months. That was an experiment. So I did cocaine literally like 3 or 4 months, went straight to jail and never really fucking touched the shit again. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? So there you go, motherfuckers. Yeah, so I did do it. I did it with Eric Gales. I did it with Player Fly. But bro, if you look at a lifespan, if somebody tell they did something for 6 months, you can't necessarily say that they became that. Right. Or that this, you know what I'm saying? It's kind of like the experimental phase. But if you think about it, certain people think that I just was like, it's just like Jesus saying he never sold drugs. It'll fuck you up, you know?
Yeah, them facts.
I all that brick talk.
You the snowman.
But it's kind of like that with me, dog. I really didn't. I don't do shit now, bro. I ain't gonna lie to you, bro. I smoke some weed. You know what I'm saying? I did a couple of experience with some bitches because they were so fine and nasty. They was spitting each other's mouth and shit like this here, you know what I'm saying? They pretty chocolate bitches just doing that shit, sticking each other's hand down each other's throat and shit. They was nasty bitches. So, of course, I did a couple of experience with these bitches.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? But, like, drugs, dog, I can't stand them, dog. I don't like alcohol. Now, my dads get drunk and get fucked up on the Christmas tree and get stuck on that motherfucker.
And the thing that I kind of noticed about you early on, you know, when I first met you, you naturally like this. Like, this ain't no, like, people might see you or, you know, be around you and they think, he must be on some type of upper or something like that.
Nah.
But nah, bro, this is always
Nah,
been
listen,
you.
nigga, I had a nigga that asked me this one day. He said, no, you still fuck with that cocaine? I had one answer. If the city ain't looking for me, fool, I ain't fucking with that cocaine.
Yeah.
If 9, 10 niggas looking for me, I'm fucking with the cocaine.
Yeah.
Because I'm took everybody's shit and I ain't paying no motherfucker back.
Yeah.
You ain't got to wonder if I'm on that. You know what I'm saying? Like, it's cool when you see me like I am now. It's cool. I'm fresh. I'm doing my thing. Because I'm going to tell you one thing that was a big embarrassment to me. My family, one thing was a very big embarrassment to me. I come from a family of Grizel Blancas and ghosts. If I can put that in perspective for you.
Yeah, yeah.
So it was embarrassing to be a user when you come from hustler.
Gotcha.
So when I got back from prison, I came home, my biggest thing to do was to restamp myself with my family and reestablish that, hey, I'm sorry, I apologize. I had no reason stepping outside the box like that. I literally apologized to one of my big cousins. I'm not going to lie to you. I apologized to him. You know, and he probably thought I was kind of crazy at the time, but I told him I apologize to you. I wasn't a gangster. I wasn't a street nigga like I thought I was. I am now. But at the time, I wasn't. You know what I'm saying? So that's kind of how that go.
We can't leave without talking about the Wasted Bars album, man.
Oh, man, I love that, John.
We gotta talk about that.
You know,
joint,
that's
man.
about the best commercial album I ever, like, when I say commercial, I don't mean like I sold myself out as not the Noid brand, the Noid feel. When I say commercial, it's kind of more so not so rough around the edges. She banging on my line, trying to get some of my time.
Yeah, man.
So, and the kids be like, he banging my line. So I kind of want to mix it up from old and new. And I kind of want to give them something totally different than what they were used to out of me. Like, I was kind of tired of the pimp, hoe, rob it, break, get crunk. If you go through the album, you can kind of tell I situated in a way where that I didn't kind of want to do the same old thing all over again. Because the future going somewhere else, and we got to go where it's going. You know what I'm saying?
Even like the production elevated because you were working with Hot Rod on that.
Yeah, Hot
joint.
Rod, man. Shout out to Hot Rod.
Yeah.
Dude is insane, man. Dead Boy Grimm. You know what I'm saying? He sent me a lot of tracks like bitch, you know I'm playing with the dope boy money. You know what I'm saying? So a lot of my songs more upbeat now than dark. Like you just said, Load My Clip, Death Row. All those were kind of dark. So now I try to uplift people as much as I, because if you could tell I got an uplifting spirit. You know what I'm saying? I know a lot of people that's sad, down, and depressed. I know a lot of niggas with life. I know niggas that copped out for life in 25 plus 7.
Wow.
No, you're not listening. He copped out. For those who don't know, a cop out mean that's what you signed for. That mean they was trying to give him so much time. He just signed for that. And then when you come to jail sometimes, dog, when you get to prison, when they load you off the goose, whoever you on the goose with, when they get you in the cage, everybody take their clothes off. Ain't nothing but dick and ass swinging.
Yeah.
So yeah, I'm going to be happy every day, bro. Because that's what's going on for them dudes every fucking day I think about. If you go to visit and plan your gal pussy, when you leave visit, they want you to raise your nuts up and they want to look in your ass. Niggas ain't never scared me. But that reality, this motherfucker 18, 19 years old, ain't never been nowhere.
Yeah.
Don't know nothing. Disrespecting the fuck out of you when you get there. Telling you to bend over and show you with your ass and fuck you, boy. So those things right there stopped me from prison. It didn't have nothing to do. If it had to do with niggas, I probably would be in prison right now.
Yeah.
If it had something to do with me being scared of niggas, I'd probably be in that motherfucker now. But this being on 23-1 and letting a person do that with my life, allowing someone to take every fucking thing I work for
Yeah.
and can have in life and letting them script me from it and just allowing them to do it every day in the most inhumane ways possible. Nah, I couldn't do that no more.
I promise. And even if you was in there, you wouldn't be able to do the Speak On It podcast.
Nah, man, especially Speak On It podcast, you know.
Let me ask you this. Did the song Speak On It, did that kind of...
It influenced it.
Okay, that's what I was trying to say.
Because I'm going to tell you why made it Speak On It. I'm one of them dudes in the hood that might have a problem and I come back and just shoot shit. I could have said something. And my big cousin always told me, shout out to Black Bo, Big A, man, you could have said something. I ain't goddamn, man, you ain't had to come back. And so I know for a fact if certain dudes talk, even if they killers, you know what I'm saying? It could minimize some of the shit that's going on. You know what I'm saying? Like,
yeah.
Dolph and Gotti talk, not the in-betweens. Noid and the nigga he got a beef with talk, not the in-betweens. We speak on it.
Yeah.
You see what I'm saying? I want the guys that's Shannon Sharp and Mike Epps. We speak on it, not through people. Because when it's like that, that beef stay hot. Because that person that's running back and forth got to stay relevant. That stay relevancy sometimes. Your demise or your death could become their relevancy. So I think you should speak on this shit. Whether, you know, it's they 4 bodies up or you 4 bodies up. The heads need to talk. Not the heads need to sit down and speak on it, man. You know what I'm talking about? I'm pretty sure you can get a governor or mayor to sit and intervene with that if he knows enough shit going on in the city. I'm pretty sure he'll intervene and let y'all talk. Whereas that you got 50, he got 50, and y'all just want to talk. Yeah. But we got to speak on it, man. That's called diplomacy.
Diplomacy, correct.
Countries that beef with each other,
yep.
The president go sit down and they speak on it, man. When they get to a certain point, we got to have a speak on it point, bro.
And I can remember, like, when Minister Farrakhan came to Memphis and he called for all of the rappers, you know what I'm saying, to show up, to listen, and to kind of meet. And I remember Dolph being there, you know, and it seemed like that was at a point where, you know, the beef was kind of starting to kind of bubble a little bit more. And it seemed like, you know, Minister Farrakhan was at least making an attempt to, hey, you know, let's piece this out. But, you know, only Dolph showed up. You know what I'm saying? As far as within the parameters of that beef.
Yeah, man, a lot of guys. But one thing I don't understand, I'm so disappointed. A lot of black men, a lot of black males. For the simple fact, I'm going to give you a small example, not to talk so long. I'm not a big sports fan. I love sports. No sports you can bring up I can't play or talk about. But you got niggas that know player stats and don't know the status of their child. They don't know the status of their homeboy. They don't know the status, you know, of people that look out for them and fuck with them. So why would shit like that be so important? You know what I'm saying? The value system inside our culture is so fucked up. And don't nobody really want to address that part of it. And I think we need to address that shit ASAP. Because if people keep on coming to have to address it for us, I'm going to tell you what it looked like. I watched the National Geographic the other day. Some monkeys went to eat, and the big monkey stayed back with the monkey babies. When the monkey women came back, they gave the monkey children back to the monkey babies, and the male monkeys stood over and protected everything as they ate and watched them eat. I don't want a motherfucking monkey to outdo me. It's not made like that. Yeah. That's what they be trying to tell us that we don't understand. We are the most intelligent, vibrant. It's nothing on this earth as meaningful as us.
Yeah.
Why the fuck don't we understand that? Why is it when somebody come across with a solution, we beg for one, and then when somebody come with a solution, man, don't nobody show up.
Yeah.
That's one thing I respected about Dolph. He had a love for his people that all of us need to have. I'm from the 70s, bro. It's cool for me to see you in the store and hold the door. What's up, bro? What's up, Jack? What's happening, man?
Right.
We used to see each other back in the day, and if we were swagged out enough, nigga, it was nothing but this and ooh, and none of it was fake. He didn't see it and then get down the road and be like, man, nigga, thank he was proud that you thought that of yourself. Yeah. He was, my dude, he wanted to think that of himself. You didn't want to diminish the value of every motherfucker you meet because they may have thought some of themselves.
Yeah.
Who gonna think some of you don't think some of yourself, man? Why would you be mad at somebody who thinks some of themselves? You know what I'm saying? And in Memphis, we got this, I'm gonna say this, dog, I'm gonna be through. If you're in Memphis, you're in poverty and you live below the poverty rate, So when you get offline on your Instagram and your Facebook and all your bullshit you be on, just remember, look around your neighborhood, look at the stop sign, and learn this. Your whole entire city is below the poverty rate with your balling, bad bitch having ass, Corvette driving, big shit popping. You motherfuckers, we all live below the poverty rate. So stop this dumb ass shit like somebody got it better than somebody else. The whole city is under the fucking poverty rate. Shout out to all my ballers.
I promise, man. Hey, I couldn't have said it no better.
That's for real though, bro.
We got to dive into the album My 666 Mafia Days,
yeah,
man. That was another banger.
Yeah,
I think that John came out about 10. Yeah, we approaching 10 years now.
Yeah, approaching 10 years now. That 666 Mafia Days was dog. It was an ingenious thing for one, because when it hit online hard, you know what I'm saying? And Skinny told me, he said, dog, the title, if I could have thought of that title, bro, you wouldn't have had it. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So the title alone put me right where I was struggling to get back where I was at. I was trying to get that status, that name back. A lot of people thought I had lost it, man. A lot of people talking to me like I was washed up and, you know, shit like this, you know what I'm saying? And as an artist, you know how they go. That'll fuck with you.
Man.
You know what I'm saying? So when I did that 666, matter of fact, 666 Mafia Days, the whole jump was revamped. Like the way it is now, it was something totally different before it is the way now. We took so much time. Me and my cousin Brian Pierce, Young Face, shout out to Young Face. So we had to redo the whole thing, dog, and we had to really take and we had to try to capture those days and that day. And that was the trick to that. That what made that album exciting. You know what I'm saying? We had to capture, and we did a good job of it with the Riding in the Chevy Part 2. We was talking at the beginning. And, man, it was a fun album. When I woke up, I spoke up. You know what I'm saying? I got a song I like that. When I woke up, I spoke up. So a lot of songs on there was made to kind of get you to come from the old Noid to the new Noid. And people did it. They came right on over.
And one thing that I think also is dope is how, you know, you be remixing some of them old 3-6 classics like you did. Roll
at one
with
point, that roll with it, that
cheese and dope.
Man, I want to say shout out to Pat, man, but I'm upset with him. I'm going to tell you why.
Okay.
My cheese dope did great with nobody fucking with it. That's why I said nobody. That motherfucker was in the thousands. Like, it did better than certain people John did that he shared. So I was like, why the fuck? Because I used to go visit Project Pat with Juicy when he first got locked up. I was even in prison with Pat, but he was up on the hill. He had already made parole, and I had just got there. So he was headed home, and I was with the shit. You know what I'm saying? So, man, that roll with it, who running?
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? So, when you get to doing music so much, you don't get a chance to do shit that's fun. And them was like my fun joints. And a lot of people like to hear them. Like when I go do a show, it's easy to start the show off right there.
Right.
And they be like, okay, I don't know if that's here, but that shit killing, you know?
So let me ask you this, like, do you have any plans to remix any more? Because I love to hear you on stuff like Sipping on Scissor, like,
you know
it's
what?
a whole bunch of them.
It's like a couple of them joints, like you Sipping on Scissor is one of them, you know what I'm saying? I'm going to tell you why that song weird to me, dog. Because when I first met Juicy J, he gave me UGK tape.
Okay.
No. So when I seen him up there, I was like, this nigga was for real.
Yeah.
He literally gave me the tape and dropped me off on the corner.
Yeah.
Pocket full of stones, I left it wet for you. He said, this where we trying to go.
Yeah.
And that's how I actually end up being crazy about UGK through Juicy, you know what I'm saying? But yeah, man, they're sipping on some scissor. I might have to get into that because I sipped on it a couple times.
Yeah.
Yeah, man.
I love it, man.
I play with it a little bit.
I feel you, man. Hey, I had my taste back in the day, too. Shout out to my guy, Zilla. I ain't saying no more. Yeah. But anyway, man, go ahead, give them all your social media. That way they can tap in with you, man.
Right. Man, listen, you can tap with me on Facebook at Chico Sanchez, Lil Noid. Everything else is pretty much Lil Noid. The real Lil Noid, Instagram. You can just look me up on YouTube, just Lil Noid, pretty much anything. But just put my name in it to pop up. You know what I'm saying? Pandora. Whatever the fuck you on, I'm gonna pop up. Just make sure you pulling that name up and popping it up. We got the new album, Elevated. Make sure you go check out the single, 4 or 5. We just did that, John. So if you're online and you wanna check out one of the latest videos, 4 or 5 would be a good one. But other than that, just stay tuned, man. Make sure you go check out the podcast on Spotify too. It's called Speak On It. We'll be doing the 5th edition tomorrow night at 8 o'clock.
I promise, man. Hey, anything else? Any shows coming up? Anything or booking information?
Man, at the moment we trying to work out this little thing because I just signed a deal with this group, the Black Keys.
Okay.
So we got a single that's gonna be in rotation, and it's through like Warner Brothers.
Yeah.
So whenever they say something, I just know everything. But so I'm excited about that because, like I said, they got a major budget. It's a major song with a major group. They got like 4 Grammys. You know what I'm saying? Jim Jones got a song with them, Common, and Ludacris. So I joined that cast of villains when they come to doing music with the Black Keys. You know what I'm saying?
Hey, definitely in good company. I got to say thank you again for being a guest on Brink Radio, my guy. Hey, with that being said, now back to Brink Radio. Don't move.